What up, guys? Here's another battle. It's my new UU team with Quagsire as the main dude, and everybody else is helping out Quagsire because he's pretty bad. So here's a battle against a guy named TitlePendingForever. Skitts played him in the last video, and he wanted to play me, so here we go. I'll lead off with my Banette, who's super neat, and I'm not sure what that Registeel is going to do, so I decided to knock off because I figure it's going to have leftovers on it. He decides to stealth rock here, and I could have canceled that out with a taunt, but I didn't know it was going to happen. But no big deal, I can just blow him away with Hitmontop, so no worries. So switching to Hitmontop, because I figure Registeel's not going to do a whole lot to him, and I can use like Earthquake or even close combat. He goes for a Swagger here, which isn't the worst thing in the world, because this Hitmontop is a physical tank, so he's not like the technician ones that you see. And minus the confusion and stuff, it should be a matter of like 2 hits and the Registeel will be gone. But there's the first confusion, and so that's no good. So then Registeel is gonna psych up and steal my attack boost, which is pretty neat. It's a nice strategy. And I don't see a lot of Registeels in the way I play, so but I thought that was pretty original. Nothing like, you know, copied or anything. So here's an Earthquake. And with the boost, it's going to do a decent chunk, take him down to just a little less than a quarter left. So I was pretty happy with that. And so yeah, here goes the HP. Yeah, sorry it's like real slow, but if I shortened it down, it was going to be like 4 minutes, and I wouldn't have time to talk at all. And I like doing that. So yeah, it's going to be a little long. So there goes the Iron Head with the boost. It's going to do quite a bit to me too. So at this point, it's like, alright, if I get confused and hurt myself, then I'm dead. But I wanted to play brave. Luckily, I snapped out of confusion, and Earthquake will kill the Registeel. So I was pretty happy with myself there. I was like, alright, we're doing good. Countered one of the big hitters in UU, and feeling pretty good. So, alright, I take a lead 6-5 now. But the rocks are still up. I haven't got rid of those yet. I need to find a way to do that. So I'm going to get the lefties boost, and on this turn, he's going to switch into Gardevoir, which is kind of sucky because this UU team has a major weakness to psychic types, which kind of sucks. So speaking of sucks, I use a Sucker Punch figuring he would like psychic me or something and do a lot of damage, but he goes for a Reflect instead. So I'm like, oh, now he knows I have Sucker Punch, so I'll use Rapid Spin this turn, but he then overpredicts me and gets a psychic and kills Hitmontop. So that really sucks. I don't think I would have killed Gardevoir, especially with the Reflect up, but I would have at least done half, I'm thinking. So I was kind of upset about that. So now he's got Reflect up, and the rocks are still up, and I have no way of getting rid of them, which is bad for this team because of this guy, Quagsire. So he's going to go for a Wish. I went into Quagsire just because I figured Gardevoir can't do a whole lot to Quagsire. So there goes an Earthquake, and with the Reflect up, it's not going to do a whole lot. So I'm just kind of like, I'll try and Toxic it or something. I figure he's going to switch out, maybe, so if he does switch out, I'll get somebody else Toxic. So, switch he does. He goes into Annie, which is his Marowak. So there's the Toxic, and I was pretty happy with that, because, you know, Marowaks aren't the best thing in the world, but it's cool to have them poison, because it's always fun to have things poison. So, at this point, I'm like, well, I don't think I'll be able to take a hit, Quagsire that is, so I switch out to my Weezing, which is a defensive tank and is totally awesome, and I love him. And he's got that neat ability called Levitate. Maybe you guys have heard of it, but it makes ground moves miss, so that was fun. And with like a lefty's boost, he comes in pretty much unharmed, which is also fun. Alright, so with the poison damage slowly increasing, I figure I can just do some damage to him, use Flamethrower. And, you know, I can pretty much outlast him because he's not going to do a whole lot of damage to me. He uses Stone Edge here, hoping for the crits. Unfortunately, no crits come to him, so Weezing just going to tank him out, like Weezing does, like awesome. I don't think that made any sense at all, but here we go. Another Flamethrower coming up next turn, and the Toxic slowly wears him down. So I'm feeling pretty good with myself, you know, minus that Gardevoir mistake. You know, I've turned it around. I've still got a decent hold on things, you know, nothing too bad, and after this turn, Toxic will take out that Marowak. He goes for a Stone Edge once again, and still no crits, so I'm down just a little over half, but with lefties, I get a little more than half back. So yeah, feeling good. Toxic will take out the Marowak. And now he's going to go into the reason why this video would have been 4 minutes long. This is Espeon. And Espeon's this really fast psychic type, and that spells death for me pretty much. So I go into Quagsire because Weezing can't take a special hit to save his life, and he tricks me, which was interesting because I don't see that a whole lot, but again, I don't see a whole lot of Espeons. And so now I'm choiced, and I don't think that's the worst thing in the world because I know I can take at least one psychic from that Espeon, and I figure, well, I'm choiced, so maybe I'll be faster, but of course not. There goes the Earthquake that I'm going to use this turn coming up right there. And I'm figuring, you know, Espeon's not the most defensive thing in the world, so maybe I'll do some damage. And you know what? For Quagsire, it actually does a decent chunk. It takes him down to just about a quarter. And, but now he's got my leftovers, so he's going to get some of that back. So this turn, I'm just kind of like, you know, Quagsire's not going to do a whole lot for me. I'll just keep him in and let him die. Because I'm thinking that Dodrio will be able to come in and do some magic for me next turn. Yeah, so much for that, because Dodrio is slower than I thought. This is the first time I ever really used this team, so a lot of the mistakes I made were just because I'm not real familiar with the team yet. But here's Dodrio. I figured I could get off a Drill Peck and take it out, but it's faster than me and uses Psychic. So that Dodrio is actually Life Orbed, and I could use Quick Attack, and it might have been able to kill it, but we'll never know, because down goes Dodrio, and Espeon continues its rampage through the rest of my team. So at this point, I kind of lost focus and was just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I sent in Banette because I figured, oh, it's choiced, and I'm Ghost, so that'll still do damage, but it won't kill me. And then I'm like, but it's not choiced, and it doesn't even matter that I'm Ghost, because it's going to know Shadow Ball. And even if it used Psychic, that probably would have killed me anyways, because Banette's pretty bad. So down goes Banette. And, yeah. So I think the video pretty much speaks for itself of how bad this is. But that's the way it is. So now I'm like, well, I can't go into Weezing, and I only have Magmortar otherwise left. So I go into Magmortar. And surprisingly, he's bulky, and he takes his Psychic and actually survives it, which is a miracle, because I figured he was not going to survive it. And I get into Flamethrower, which is choiced and does quite a bit of damage and enough to take down that thing. So if I would have figured that out a while before, like I said, if I knew this team better, I might have been able to stop that rampage that just happened. But I didn't, and I couldn't. So it's a little too late. Now in comes Arcanine, who's obviously going to take the Flamethrower. But I don't want to switch into Weezing because the next time I go into Magmortar, he's just going to die because the rocks are up. So I just leave Magmortar in to die. And so now I got Weezing left, and I'm thinking maybe I could try and tank it if Arcanine's physical. But this Arcanine's actually ends up being like a mixed thing, because it's got Flamethrower here, and Weezing just can't take a special attack. So that Flamethrower will do it, and so that's a good game to TitlePendingForever. He wins 3-0 in the end. It kind of sucks that this did so badly, because I really like this team a lot. I spent a lot of time working on it, but there'll be more of this team to come in the future. And yeah, so thanks a lot to TitlePending. He's been a big supporter of our channel for a while now, and he waited a long time for this battle. So thanks a lot.